most mundane thing, and bam, an idea is naturally born. So from the idea, let me put you on my creative filming process. From all the pre-planning to a short post-production process, I'm gonna put you on game. To be honest, I am the writer, the shooter, the subject, editor, and although collaboration is important and super fun, don't let that stop you from going out and already doing it yourself. So hence, don't wait around for things to happen for you. Go out and do it yourself. What's up everyone, it's Desiree Lacap, aka Lacapture. If you're new here, welcome. I'm a filmmaker and content creator sharing all tips, tricks, and hacks helping you become a better one yourself. If you've been here already, grateful to have you back. In this video, I'm gonna put you on my creative process and share my favorite tools and tips so you can improve your own content. My whole process from pre-plan to overall execution starts by asking a few simple questions. What's the point? And what kind of value, if any, am I providing to the audience? It seems simplistic and obvious, but if you don't have a clear answer early on, you might waste time throughout the process because you could end up shooting things that don't matter or become overwhelmed trying to put together your video. So when you have a clear direction, you end up capturing with intent and focus on the overall point and purpose. If you're like me and you make content because you're having fun with it and want to connect with and inspire your audience, you might ask, how do you know if they'll care? One way to test this out is to use like a search engine, right? Whether you're on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, but same with researching hashtags on social media platforms, hashtags like that are in your niche, and seeing which video topics are doing pretty well. So before I shoot anything, unless it's on the spot, I always build a script and a shot list. This is extremely helpful with knowing what to film and gives an idea of what the final video will potentially look like. To be quite honest though, don't be so overwhelmed with this process when you're first starting out. It is a good thing to do, but I can see how feeling like you have to do it can kill your creative process in the early stages of a filmmaker or a content creator. So do what works best for you. With that being said, this is just a place to start from because once I start shooting on location, I discover new angles and my story develops as I work through the process. So try not to be so fixed on the idea. Let it breathe and expand if needed. For me, it can start with looking like this. A ton of gibberish writing because I'm wanting to get that first idea or instinct written or typed out. From there, I go ahead and organize and expand it electronically like this. This helps me gauge how much work needs to get done so I'm prepared to set aside enough time for it. With my plan, place, and everything ready, we're pretty much ready to shoot. When I begin filming, I always start with 3 main shots. 1, the wide shot. This helps establish the scene of where your video or story will take place. 2, the medium shot. This helps focus on the subject or what they're doing at a little bit of a tighter angle. And lastly, the close-up detail shots to keep the viewer visually stimulated. You can always capture way more than you had planned, and when you're capturing B-roll, make sure to capture a wide variety of different types of shots and get at least 15 to 20 seconds of each clip. Having this type of coverage will give you a lot to play with in the editing process. Most times I am typically filming alone, so it's great to have a tripod, a wireless monitor. In this case, I use a Monitor Plus app, which works for my Sony camera. And most importantly, be aware of your surroundings, making sure you're safe and also your gear. Yes, it is nice to have fancy or good camera gear, but don't underestimate what you can get done with the one you have in your pocket. Your phone. So generally, phones nowadays have super good quality depending on how you film it and essentially color grade it. So don't let the lack of gear stop you from creating. Don't be afraid of messing up We ain't perfect, so don't expect perfection from your craft. Instead, embrace the bloopers and just have fun with it. If there's anything you should invest in, it is audio gear. Sound is half the experience, and this took me a long time to realize because I could agree with others that it's kind of more important than the visuals in some cases. Besides the audio that is used from me talking, I always like to layer it with ambient sounds from the environments that you see. For example, typing on the keyboard or the mouse clicking, nature sounds, and all that stuff. Also, even sound design in some cases, if it makes sense. It gives this extra element, texture, and detail to the overall experience for the audience. For my recordings, I have a few ways that I record audio. So when I'm out and about, I'm usually just mic'd up using the Rode Wireless Go or the DJI wireless mic. It just makes it super convenient that I just clip it on me or I hold it in my hand instead of having to set everything up. Because on the other hand, when I'm filming at home or some interior location where I have control over the environment, I have two options to capture clean audio. One, I'll either use my Zoom H5 and connect the Rode NTG shotgun mic to my Zoom H5 using an XLR cable, or I'll plug in my Rode video mic directly into my camera and then plug the transmitter into the Rode NTG video mic to make it wireless and acts as a wireless shotgun mic. So for the shotgun mic, I'll usually have it rigged on this arm, link in bio for all the gear that I use, and attach it to anywhere it's convenient right over where I'm talking, making sure it's pointed at my mouth. Because as a directional shotgun mic, if I'm to turn over here, you could tell that my voice will be a little more faded compared to when it's directly in front of the mic. Now, underneath all the ambient sounds, sound design, and my voiceover is music. I source my music from one website specifically, which is Epidemic Sound. It's not sponsored, by the way. I really do pull all my stuff from there, my sound effects and my music. I generally like something that goes with the video overall because that will indeed set the tone of your scene and pretty much tell your audience how they should feel. Post-production is almost where the magic comes to life, really. If you miss the shot, you could always finesse it and it's magical. And I would say organization is important throughout the whole process. So once I load in my footage from my SD card to my drive, this is how I ensure my files stay organized. It's by creating folders and properly naming it. This helps especially when importing your folders into Premiere, as the bins are organized similarly. To simply explain my post-production steps, I'm gonna generally break it down for you. So, once I have my A-roll footage, which is this clip here, onto my timeline, I begin with coloring my A-roll talking head footage, then editing it. So I'll trim off any empty spaces and bloopers, ensuring the first layer cut is tight and clean. After that, I begin editing my intro. For this, it's the scene at the grocery store. So this is the opening of the video and you want your audience to stay engaged. So for that, I layer it with music so I know what the vibe of the video will end up being, and layer it with any B-roll if I feel like it needs it. I personally think it's necessary to add a second layer of footage to keep my viewers engaged. So in this case, I always add B-roll that accompanies what I'm saying. So you don't always have to add this part. All of the creators are different, but when I state examples, I feel like it's best to show what I mean or, to simply cover jump cuts. Once I have that all done, pretty much my timeline, my A-roll, and my B-roll, next I start to create breaks in between my sections so it gives my video a breather. And also during this part, I add any graphic elements like titles, overlays, sound designs, and music. This also isn't necessary, it's just more of a creative choice. Lastly, but not lastly because there is a lot in between, this is just my general breakdown. My favorite part, color grading. This can honestly take up most of the time, I would say, for my post process actually. I usually just color it in Premiere, starting with inputting my S-Log3 LUT or Rec 709, which brings back the natural look of the clip because I shoot in S-Log3. But my S-Log3 LUT is in the description below. So from there, I'll just start playing around with my curves, wheels, colors, and all the elements in the Lumetri tab, color grading it until I'm pretty satisfied with the look and the overall feel. There is a full video on my color grading process from scratch linked below or up here. Overall, embrace your creativity and passion. Don't let gear hold you back, and don't let fear be the reason you don't pursue your creativity, your ideas, or your passion. Making videos is a form of self-expression, so embrace being you and your unique creativity, letting your passion shine through whatever type of thing you do. Start with what you have, learn and improve continuously, be consistent and persistent, experiment and take risks, engage with other people, and most importantly, stay true to yourself. The biggest thing I carry and what's gotten me this far is commitment, consistency, determination, dedication, and the passion to want to share this type of information with you so you can grow into the greatest being, creative person you can be. Because to be honest, you can have the idea and see it clearly, but if you don't have the determination to get up and execute it, it means absolutely nothing. So go out there, embrace your creativity, and share your unique voice within the world. All right, y'all, I truly hope you took something away from this video. So make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and turn on them post notifications on, because I am coming in hot with some fire content. I'm telling y'all. I appreciate you for tuning in. Go out, be you, create, and I shall see you in the next video. Peace.